Hello, everyone. My name is Janet Izelcha, and welcome to another edition of Janet's Pick. And I'm here, very, very honored to be here with a friend of mine. I'm happy to call you a friend.
Yes.
Nadia Cherie. She is CEO, founder of Beauty by Nadia.
Yes.
And welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
really, really excited. I'm so excited to have you. I know
Thank
you're very
you.
busy. Thank you for making out the time today.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So I want to start with this. Tell me a little bit about yourself
Okay.
and about your business, what you do. She is a makeup artist, and if you didn't know this by now, she's a makeup artist. So tell us a little bit about Beauty by Nadia.
Okay. I'm Nadia, and I run a makeup business where I offer services to clients, and really my base, my audience is the everyday woman. I have worked on some pretty high profile clients and things like that, but who I really speak to and who I really love is the everyday woman who just wants to enhance her beauty, the woman who wants to tap into the beauty that she knows is in there, but just hasn't acquired the tools to pull her out. So that's my audience, and that's what my business is focused on, the everyday woman.
And how long have you been in business?
It's going on about 7 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, about 7
Time
years.
flies.
Yeah.
I remember when you did my makeup.
Yes, oh my gosh.
Can I just say
that was quite an experience.
That was the first time I was ever having anyone do my makeup.
Oh my gosh.
So I was.
We have to have a
Well,
do-over.
let me say
We need a do-over.
So let me say this first time aside from my wedding, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was like a do-over. Why do you say that?
Oh gosh, I have to redeem myself from that experience. Like, it turned out fine, but now as I've grown in my artistry and I've learned so much that now I look back and I'm like, I cringe, but it's fine.
You know, I'm sure that's probably how most people feel when they compare themselves
Absolutely.
years later, right?
Yeah.
One thing I want to say that I've noticed about your work, because I have been stalking you a little bit, okay? I've been checking out some of your work. Your makeup is typically, what I've been seeing, very soft and natural.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that about the faces. Very soft and natural makeup. You don't have that strong, heavy look on your clients. So tell me, why is that? Is that intentional?
I think with any artist, and then I can only speak for myself, of course, but any artist, you have your own vision of beauty, your own vision of what is beautiful and what you would expect for your clients. And so for me, my vision of beauty is a very soft face, a face that seamless blending, and the colors aren't very harsh or don't pop out more than the woman's beauty itself. And so that's just my vision of beauty, and that's what I always try to interpret and give my clients. It's just my vision of beauty, and every artist has their own, but for me, that's what you see is exactly what I see. It's beautiful.
Oh, I noticed that they do end up with a really natural look.
Yeah,
and I like that.
Yeah,
that's a trademark.
My style. That's
so
my style.
You say, and maybe you've spoken to part of this already. You say you're not a typical makeup artist.
Mm-hmm.
How so?
I would say that I'm not typical because I didn't enter this industry intending to be a makeup artist at all. I'm a mom of 4. I only started even wanting to know more about makeup because, which a lot of women do, I lost myself in being a mom and a wife. I found that I was constantly doing things for my children, doing things for my husband, and I had lost that creative side that I had years ago. And so one day I woke up and I'm like, I've got to find a way to tap back into that. I've got to find a way to, and so I started to teach myself how to do my own makeup, never intending to touch another woman's face. Just wanted to teach myself, how do I do my own makeup? How do I bring myself out of the sweatpants and t-shirts and back into this girly girl that I was years ago, before my children and all of that. And so I started teaching myself how to do makeup, and eventually people would see the makeup because I would wear it to the grocery store or pick the kids up from school. Really? And people would say like, oh, who did your makeup? Do you do makeup? And for a long, very long time, I said, no, I don't do makeup. And I think this is the part of my journey that you came in because I would say, no, I don't do makeup. Like, because I don't want to mess up. I don't want anyone to expect anything of me that I can't deliver. Like, I know how to do mine, but I can't say I know how to do yours. And so I never wanted to let anyone down. You know, they expected something of me that I couldn't deliver. And so one day I was out with my mom and someone in the store again said, "Oh my gosh, your makeup's beautiful. Like, do you do makeup?" And I said no. And when we left the store, my mom said, "What if you say yes one time? Just say yes and see what happens." Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard this story, but
but that sounds very
yes. So she
marvelous.
said yes. So she told me, she said, "What if you say yes one time? See what happens when you say yes. And if nothing happens, then go back to your nose. But try yes one time." And that one time, the next time somebody asked me, I said yes, and the rest is history. And that is how I never intended to have a website, anything to make this business official. I literally just started, it became word of mouth for the first couple of years, all word of mouth. And eventually I was like, I guess this is the business. And the business came about because I was asked to participate in an event, and the coordinator called me and was like, "Well, what's your name though? Like, what do we call you?" Like, and I was like, "I don't know." "What do you call me?" "I don't know." And that's how Beauty by Nadia Cherie came about, because I literally just happened upon this because, just like many other women, I didn't see myself anymore. I was a mom, I was a great mom, awesome wife, but I wanted to tap into just Nadia. And yeah, that's what happened.
That's
Yeah.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah, and I think that that's why I speak so. My artistry and my story, my journey has spoken so much to the everyday woman, because that's who I am. Like, as many times as I've done, like I said, high profile clients, celebrity, this, that, and the other, on television and all these things. Like, I'm the everyday woman. I'm a mom of 4 who wakes up and gets my kids dressed every morning. Like, yeah, I'm an everyday woman who just happens to have this gift.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you discovered it maybe a little later.
Yeah.
Like, your story isn't, hey, since I was 13, I found myself playing around with it.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm not typical.
You're not?
No.
Nothing
Not
typical?
like the typical makeup artist, no.
Not at all. Wow. So how are you able to keep it all together? You talked about your wife, your mother of 4?
Yeah.
4 big boys.
Yeah, big boys.
Yeah, big boys. And again, you're a full-time worker.
Uh-huh.
You have a full-time job. How do you keep it all together as far as running your business and everything else you have?
You know what? I am. My husband jokes around a lot, and at this point I just have to laugh at it. But he's like, "Oh my gosh, you run this house like a well-oiled machine." That's how I run my whole life, though. Not just our house. Like, everything is a well-oiled machine. There's a system, there is a schedule, and we try to stick to it so that everything can get a little bit. Now, I can't give everything 100%, and there are times when I fall short, but I try to make it a point to have a plan, stick to the plan, and really try my hardest to get to the end goal. And for me, the end goal is a day-by-day thing. So the end goal for me is each day, like, what do I want to accomplish? And I don't make big goals for myself each day, but I'm like, if I get the laundry folded today, I respond to some emails and clear some contracts today, maybe 3 or 4 contracts, fold the boys' laundry, and get dinner on the table, I'm good for today, and tomorrow we'll address the next thing.
Wow.
Like, I set those goals, short-term goals, and as long as I've done those, I don't feel like I've let any part of my life down.
So would you say you're achieving balance that way? Or
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. I make it a point, though, of doing that, because it doesn't happen naturally. I don't feel like it happens naturally when you're running a business and managing a family and trying to carve out time for yourself. Like, no, that doesn't happen naturally. So I try to make it a point to create balance in all those areas. Make sure that my children have mommy there, when they need mommy, but making sure that my business gets my attention, and my clients, each and every one of my clients, feel like they are my my only client. They're the only one. I make it a point of doing that, though, because I know what it feels like to not have that balance, have given too much to one thing.
Yeah.
And so I make it a point now, like, no, everything gets a little bit.
Wow.
And it works.
It works.
Yeah. My kids have mommy there all the time, and my husband has his wife all the time, and
That's
my business is thriving,
and you're doing pretty well with your full-time job.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's because I know that's usually a challenge.
It's hard. It's very hard.
Either putting too much into the business or too much into family.
Yeah.
But I think the key, like you said, is little Goals at a time.
Don't try to do everything or be everything to everyone. You can't. It's not possible. There's only 24 hours in a day. So you do what you can, set clear boundaries and limits for those pockets of your life, and make sure to stick to it. I'm very big on like time management, and I set clear pockets, and this is the time I'm allotting for this, and then once that's done, I move on to the next thing. Yeah.
That's good. Wow. Thank you for that. I'm learning.
Okay.
I'm learning. So, little fun stuff here.
Okay.
So tell me about your daily skincare.
Wow. Okay. So daily, I make sure I wash my face in the morning. Or after I brush my teeth, I wash my face. In the morning, typically, I will wash with something somewhat mild, like a more mild soap, a cleanser that will just get off anything that may have been left overnight. I use a mild cleanser. I moisturize. Use a separate moisturizer for my under eye and then for my skin, the skin itself. And that's my morning routine. And then at night, I use a cleanser that was actually prescribed by my esthetician. I see an esthetician every so often just to make sure that my skin everything's balanced and everything, the deep cleaning and all that's happening. So I have one that was recommended by my esthetician for my skin type, and I utilize that at night with a toner, and then another moisturizer. So moisturizing is everything. I do it all day, every day.
Wow.
All day.
And what about at night?
So at night I use that cleanser, the toner, the moisturizer, and I make sure to I over moisturize at night. So I kind of go to bed with like not greasy, but like an oily face, a super moisturized face. I'm kind of shiny at night, but that keeps everything, like helps it to all soak in while I'm sleeping.
Wow.
At least in my mind, that's what I think.
Wow. Probably so.
Yeah.
And how long does it take you to do your own makeup?
Oh gosh, this makeup doesn't take long at all, but that's only because I know my face and I know what my face needs. So it literally takes. I can do this face in like 20 minutes.
No, though. That's how long it takes to do one eyebrow.
Yeah, easy. 20 minutes, knock it out, and I'm done.
What?
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Yeah, so like easy 20 minutes, but that's like if I'm just focusing on doing the makeup, I'm not talking to anybody. Most times I have music playing, and so I'm stopping, I'm dancing a little. There's all that. But yeah, if I'm not doing all that, then 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish I could work my way up to that.
So this morning was a 20-minute face. Yeah, while my kids were asleep, before I woke them up, get the face done, wake them up, get breakfast. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's 20 minutes.
So what would you recommend as the minimum amount of makeup that maybe I should have going out?
Oh, wow.
Especially like if you're busy working.
Working woman. Yeah. Just got to get out the house. I would say have you a favorite lip, either lip color, lip gloss. You need a favorite that makes you feel confident and comfortable. And everybody needs a favorite. Like, and then
I never thought of that.
Yeah, you need one, and you can have a variety, but you definitely need that one that you keep in your purse. That's like, look, if all else fails, I got my red lip or I got my pink lip, and I'm killing this day with this. Like, so you need your favorite, and then I would say probably mascara. Yeah, mascara. If I had to have two, because mascara, I just feel like it really accentuates the eyes and it gives you a bit of I'm awake and I didn't just roll out of bed and I didn't just barely make it in here. I tried. So yeah. So mascara and a favorite lip.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, I see that. So, and what would you say is the youngest age that you think it would be appropriate for a girl to start wearing makeup?
I would say, okay, so now...
And what has been your youngest client?
Okay, well. So I would say the youngest for a young lady who wants to wear makeup regularly, like to school and stuff like that, I would really say to wait until you're in maybe your mid-teens, and that's like starting light, not with the full face of foundation. Nowadays, I do see a lot of young ladies with like full face. I'm like, girl, who did your makeup? It's a full face. But I really wouldn't suggest that if you're too young, just because your skin is still developing, it's still coming into its own. Your skin's so fresh, like you don't need to cover it with so much product. So I would say the youngest, if you're going to wear it regularly, maybe like some blush, a little highlighter, mascara, and a lip gloss, it's maybe like around that 14 year. You know, you can do a little something like that. Now the youngest client that I've had, and this is like for weddings or some sort of special event where mom or grandma or somebody wants to get their face done. I would have to say that she may have been 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 7.
Okay.
But yeah, she didn't get, and this is like someone who actually had like a session booked, not like the flower girl who came and wanted some lip gloss, but someone who actually had a session booked. I would say about 7, and she wasn't getting anything like on her skin per se, but she did get like some blush, a little highlighter, and a little gloss, and she felt like $1,000,000.
I'm sure she did.
Yeah, at 7 years old. So yeah, like a good moisturizer, and I think this was some time ago, but I may have put maybe like a tinted moisturizer on.
Okay.
So she felt like she got the whole foundation situation, but it was really just moisturizer.
That must have been so exciting for her.
Super exciting.
My goodness.
Yes. Super exciting.
Wow,
yeah.
So who has been your most interesting client? Because I know you've done a variety of.
Yeah, I have. I would have to say that it was maybe my experience at Fox 5 and News Station.
Wow.
Yeah, I worked there for their Halloween special, and you had to transform the anchors into celebrities, and so that was interesting because you have someone who, of course, they have their own face, their own features, and all of that, and then you have someone saying like, and make them into this person. You're like, they don't look the same. So you're trying to.
Have you ever done that?
No.
Wow, I'd be terrified.
Yeah, and it was quite an experience, but it was fun though because you're trying to take the features and see like, okay, what can I, like her eyes are almond shaped, but yours are round, so how can we like elongate yours a little and things like that. So it really pushed and really stretched my artistry, but I loved it because in the end I looked at the pictures and I'm like, oh my gosh, I did that.
That is amazing.
Yes, I'm looking forward to doing it this year, hopefully.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that would be quite technical, like you're saying. You know, how to
you gotta really understand the features of the face and how to manipulate features so that they still look like a person and not like they're wearing a mask. Yeah.
Because you see that a lot.
Yeah.
Looks like you just plaster something else.
So it was quite a task, but it was so fun. I would totally do it again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's
adding hair, and it was a whole thing.
Wow, that sounds fun.
Yeah. Never done any of that.
Wow. So you've been in this business for 6 years. I'm sure makeup has kind of evolved in the past 6 years. Would you say what are there any major trends that you've noticed, and how have you kept up with those trends? Because everyone seems to be doing. You have all these YouTube demos going
everywhere.
You know?
I would say that most recently the trend is very like bold colors and what's called a cut crease. Like everybody seems to do this like cut crease where you create a very defined line in the eyeshadow in order to separate two colors. So yeah, that's a big thing now. But I don't do cut creases, so I can't even say that I've tried to keep up with any trends. It's never even been a desire of mine to keep up with any trends. If anything, I do have artists that I admire, whose work that I admire, and I follow their work. I follow the growth of their work, and most times I admire them for something that is like their standard. So maybe like extremely smooth skincare, like amazing skincare, or it can be how they make their clients, how they give their clients a beautiful eye look without it being exaggerated. So things like that. Like I do follow those, but they aren't necessarily trends. Those are things that are timeless, and I feel like that's the category that my artistry falls into, like timeless. I want you to be able to have a session with me for your wedding, your senior pictures, whatever they are, and be able to look 10 years from now and not be able to say, oh, that was 2018. Like you can tell by the eyeshadow. Like I want that timeless look where, and so the artists whose work I admire, they have very timeless, beautiful work. So I don't really focus on trends, but I do focus on specific areas of artistry and try to keep up with that.
That makes sense. So who's one of the artists that you consider like a role model that you follow?
Oh, okay. Let's see. There's so many.
Really?
Yes. Just beautiful, beautiful work. But I love. So one of the local artists is Rennie Vasquez. He's local and he's been in this industry forever. But oh my gosh, his work is beautiful. Let's see who else. Molly, on Instagram her name is King Molly Magic, but does beautiful work, especially on deeper skin tones. Beautiful. So there are a couple artists that have like just beautiful portfolios, and I follow them religiously because I feel like their artistry is paving the path, paving the way for where I intend for mine to go. Yeah. It's always important to have someone or know of someone that either has done what you're planning to do or at least has been in the realm that they may not be in the same industry or anything, but they are paving a way for you to move forward. At least I feel like it's important to.
So have you had a mentor through all of this? A direct mentor or just indirectly following?
Yeah, I've followed them, but I've never been mentored. No.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's important though. But I also think that mentorship, I think that that's something that it shouldn't be forced. It should never ever be forced, and I think it's something that should happen organically. I think that that relationship is one that is a lifelong relationship, and so it's not something you should go like flipping through the yellow pages for a mentor. So I think that once the time comes and God feels it's time for me to, like, this person is meant to be your mentor, then absolutely. I have to, like I said, I have people that I look up to and people that I even keep in touch with, actually communicate with, and, you know, regarding artistry and all of that, but I wouldn't necessarily call them mentors because that's not a road that we've crossed.
Okay.
Yeah, as of yet, so. Yeah, so I figure if that's God's plan, then it'll happen. But until then, we're just good friends in beauty.
I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just what we are. I hear
you.
Yeah.
Well, for the life of me, I could never get my eyeshadow right. You have to mentor me.
Okay.
I can't get it right. So I just stick to not doing it. And I know that's not good because probably with makeup it's trial and error, isn't it?
Well, it is.
Practice
It's a lot of practice, but I mean, it's to each their own. Like, I don't wear eyeshadow 98% of the time for myself, but I love putting it on other clients. Love it. But for myself, I don't wear eyeshadow.
Really?
Yeah.
Why that?
I don't know. Like, I used to try eyeshadow here and there, but I've just found that the look that I really like for myself is a no eyeshadow look.
Wow.
It's just where I'm most comfortable, and I feel like that's what's most when wearing makeup and adding something to your aesthetic. Like, you got to be comfortable. You don't have to follow it 10 steps because the 10 steps are in the book. If you don't like that part, don't put it on.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll prefer myself in eyeshadow. But
well, that makes you feel good then.
I like myself with no eyeshadow.
I think I like myself with no eyeshadow. That's okay, right? And it's okay if one likes eyeshadow as well. Okay, so what do you recommend for a dark-skinned girl like me? I consider myself pretty dark-skinned, and it makes me nervous about using colors a lot, and, you know, as far as the right shade. Is there any preference you think? Is there any brand that you think works probably works better for?
You know, there's so many brands. There are so many brands now that just recently have become more inclusive of deeper skin tones that didn't happen before.
Really?
A lot of times brands would stop at like a little lighter than my shade, or even like right at my shade. And now, because of the outpouring of support for the deeper skin tones, a lot of brands are inclusive. But there are a few brands that have always, for at least for as long as I've known, been inclusive. So, for instance, there's like the Black Opal. Black Opal has beautiful deep skin tone, deep shades of foundation for deeper skin tones. And Black Opal's one you can pick up anywhere. There's also like maybe higher end brands, like for instance a brand by an artist named Danessa Myricks. She has beautiful deep rich skin tone, deep shades for deeper skin tones. It's a little higher end. There's also another artist who has a line with beautiful tones, AJ Crimson. So it depends on, you know, kind of where you want to fall within the price range, but there's definitely brands out there. But something more attainable and affordable, Black Opal.
Okay.
Yeah, they have beautiful deep shades.
And
they're gorgeous. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'll take note of that.
They're really good.
So tell me, blue eyeshadow or no blue eyeshadow?
You know what? Okay. You probably would hardly ever, I won't say never say never, but you will hardly ever see me using blue eyeshadow on my clients,
Okay.
but I do think that blue shadow is beautiful if it's used correctly. Now, you can't just splotch it on your eye and walk out the door. Like, you got to blend that thing out, because blue can
It's
go
blue.
wrong really fast. It can go wrong really fast. But yeah, like, I think it's beautiful. Like, and especially this day and age where it's all about, like, just try it. Like, you never know. Try it and, you know, see what happens. If you don't like it, wipe it off. But, you know, you could very well, like, so I think blue is, I would say yes.
Okay.
Yes to blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes to blue. Strip eyelashes or individual eyelashes?
Oh, I like them both. For the everyday woman, I would say go strip, only because it might, I'd like to, when I get home, take it all off and just kind of like be Nadia. So a strip, I can just like take those things off and keep it moving. But individuals are beautiful because they give you more volume, and individuals definitely give you a custom look as opposed to the strip, which is already set for you. So like individuals, I use a lot on my brides.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll customize I'll add a strip and then put some individuals in there.
Oh, really?
For my brides,
You can do
yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I do things like that to give them a custom look and bring the whole look together. But yeah, I love strips. Always. If I have to decide, I'll go with it. Strips just don't take as long.
Right.
You'll pop them on in like 5 minutes.
And take them right off.
And take them right off.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think about men wearing makeup?
I think that there is nothing wrong with men wearing makeup. Now, to start, there are a lot of artists that are men that wear makeup. And,
True.
You know, and they're amazing artists.
Amazing.
Amazing artists. I think there's nothing. And then I also can't leave out those men, like men that I've worked on. I've worked with music artists, news anchors that require male grooming. It's a thing because it's a thing. Like, it exists because there's a demand for it. So yeah, I would never rule out a man wearing makeup, whether it's for his career or just for fun. Like, if it floats your boat, honey, put it on. Because it's just like I tell my clients any other time, like, it's just makeup. If you don't like it, if you're over it, wipe it off. You know, so it's a temporary thing.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not knocking anybody. If he wants to wear it, nobody but the babies. Like, keep the babies out of it. Keep the babies out of it. But
You see, I've seen a lot of that too.
yeah, and I'm like, their skin is so fragile. Yeah, but otherwise,
sometimes those babies look cute.
I know they look so cute, but I'm like, a little gloss, but let's not do foundation. Like, we could just do gloss on her, and that'll be cute.
I hear you. My daughter's very curious about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I work with a lot of young ladies that are curious and try to, just teach them how to wear the makeup and what to wear. I've done a lot of, especially recently, one-on-one sessions where we kind of go on a quick shopping trip. Like, let me show you what you should be looking for in the store, and things like that, because moms are nervous about their daughters wearing makeup and doing too much. But if mom knows that their daughter has been kind of guided in the right direction, where she's not doing too much, she's not going for maybe the blue right away, let's start with maybe the soft bronzy tones, so something like that. Like, mom knows that she's not going crazy with it, then mom feels a little better. So a lot of moms have asked for that recently, and I've been doing that quite a bit. These one-on-ones with the teen girls and showing them what to purchase. Wow. We go on a little shopping trip, and then we come back and I show her how to use it, so she doesn't go to school looking like a clown. Like, nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
So it just kind of helps her out a little bit. It makes mom feel comfortable.
Yeah, thanks for talking about this, because that's what makes me wonder, a little nervous about my daughter too, because what's the balance between making your daughter know that makeup is acceptable at a certain age, but also making sure that she has a good
sense of self.
Yes, sense of self.
Yeah.
Self-esteem.
I think that it's like that balance comes with starting early, because I feel that
really.
Yeah, I think so. And not starting early in the sense of starting with makeup early, but starting the discussions early, because I think that now, as opposed to years ago, everything's starting a little earlier. And so, like, if you don't catch that, her friends are telling her what's appropriate. Her friends are telling her what's acceptable. So I think, like, when I was younger in elementary school, I was not thinking about makeup, barely in middle school, but now it's starting earlier. And so I think not so much like, let's go on a shopping trip, but let's start the discussions. Like, okay, well, if you're interested in makeup, then what about it are you interested in? Is it because you don't like, your lips, or you don't like your eyes, or you think that the boys are, because that's the whole thing too. You think that the boys like the girls that wear makeup? Is that why you're interested? Like things like that. Starting those discussions, because it helps moms to understand which direction they should be taking. Are we looking for makeup for self-esteem? Are we looking for it because everybody else is doing it? Or are we doing it because she's truly just a creative that needs an outlet? It could be any of those things. But I think it's important to start those conversations early.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So tell me, Smokey Eyes,
Are they still in?
are they still in? Have they ever been in?
Yeah. Smokey Eyes, I think, are always going to be in.
Really? I like them. I can't get it done on my face.
I don't think that they will ever go out of style. It's just a classic. Like, that's a classic look. Like, yeah, Smokey Eyes are always, and then it's evolved so much. You can go with the classic Smokey Eye, which is like maybe a smoke or, charcoal type shade that's really blended out and blown out. Or sometimes people go with like a, colorful Smokey Eye. So you may have a purple that's blown out into, like, there's so many options, but Smokey's always in. And I think that classic charcoal, it'll never go out of style.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
You can wear that. You can wear that like all the time. Yeah.
Day, night, is there a particular,
I don't
just
even
nighttime?
No, I don't think that it really makes a difference. I think that, I don't think so. I think that maybe you'll go a little deeper with the smoke if it's a nighttime event. But you can absolutely wear a Smokey Eye to the office. Yeah. Like to your 9 to 5. Yeah, just maybe go a little lighter with it. But yeah, you can totally wear a Smokey Eye to the office. Yeah, all day, every day.
Okay. I'll tell them Nadia. She gave me permission.
Yeah, all day, every day.
So tell me, you're 7 years in almost, and you've done really great so far.
Thank you.
I'm really, really proud of how far you've come again. And where do you see yourself? 5, 10 years from now, what do you see yourself doing?
Good one.
You look that far ahead? Or
I do. I always do. Yeah. I always do. But I think that, I'm hopeful that 5, 10 years from now, I will be still working with everyday women. Absolutely still working with everyday women. I don't want to veer away from that because, I definitely don't want to. I feel like there's always a need there. I feel like there's a lot of, there's a lot of learning that still has to happen for just the everyday woman, learning how to tap into her own beauty, learning how to see herself the way that God sees her, the way that everyone else sees her. It's just this beautiful woman. Everybody doesn't see that when they look in the mirror. So I think that there is still a need there, and I don't plan to veer away from that anytime in the future. But then I also hope to expand my brand to be able to reach more people, more than just my community. I hope to somehow, and I don't know what that somehow is yet, but I know that God has a plan, so I'm just going with it. But I plan to expand this brand into something that really reaches the masses, where I can speak to the women, the younger women especially. I feel like our younger generation needs a lot of, just not a lot, but they need that someone there. They can't always speak to mom. They don't always feel comfortable. So I think that the younger generation absolutely needs that someone that's like, I get her, she gets me. I think that's important, and I've been there. Like, I have been through the stages of being a teenager who was, creative and all these different things, to being a younger mom. I was in my early 20s when I got married and had my first son, and you jump right into motherhood, and you head in like feet first. I'm ready, and for those 20s, you're like, I'm a mom. That's what you are. And so losing yourself in that, to then evolving into this woman that has experienced life, who's had the heartbreak with the old boyfriends and all that stuff. And younger girls, they sometimes feel like, my mom doesn't get me, because I have been through that. We're like, my mom doesn't get it. But it wasn't until I realized, like, oh, she does get it, because she's been there and the other generations have been there. So I want to definitely reach the masses of our younger women, to younger girls and young women, to help them to see their beauty, because I would hate for any of them, just one is too many for me, to look for that validation and all that somewhere else. You know, so it's like find it, really tap into it within yourself, and I think that that's important. So that's my goal, to somehow expand this brand.
So
yeah, they try to find it somewhere else because either you've lost yourself in something, or you know, all the girls are wearing this, and your mom said you were way too young for that. So you know, you don't feel as pretty as them, and all those things. So all that's important, and I hope to be able to speak to them in some way through this gift that I've been given.
I like that, and I think that is so needed.
Yeah, it's absolutely needed. Yeah,
especially in this internet age, and
it's so different than years ago. You're like,
scares
why do you know that? Like, yeah. So I think it's important because I think that we've all been there where you feel like, nah, my mom won't get it if I talk to her about it, or my auntie won't get it if I talk to her about it. But, excuse me. But if you have that someone that you're like, she gets it, and she's attainable. I can actually call her. I can actually email her. You know, she's not someone that is just someone on TV. You know, I can actually reach her. So I think that that's important. So
well, I'm going to get with you later because I am part of an organization of moms mentoring younger girls. So,
and I work with quite a few. Yeah,
do you
so important.
really?
Yeah, it's so important.
We're on to something. We're on to something. Okay. You know, that would be a part 2 with you and I. Okay. So what inspires you? I know that how do you keep yourself inspired?
Artistically, I'm inspired and encouraged by the everyday woman when I go to a client and that look in the mirror. And I always talk about this, like, after I'm done, of course this is while I'm working, she doesn't know what she looks like. All of my clients, if anyone watches this, they know my one rule when I'm working: you cannot look in the mirror. Don't look in the mirror, don't look in your phone, don't look, no. Because I need you to see the finished, not when I'm still in the midst. So that's my one rule.
Really?
No mirrors.
Talk.
No mirrors. So they always laugh about it. They're like, I know you don't want me to look in the mirror. No. So that reveal that I give you the mirror, and when they look in the mirror and she says, oh my gosh, I never thought I could look like this. That to me, or she says, oh my gosh, I'm so beautiful. Like, in my heart, I'm like, you didn't know that before. So that inspires me. That encourages me to like keep going, because that means that there's still someone out there that doesn't see it. You know, when I walk in with her with no makeup on, she just washed her face getting ready for me, and I see like this gorgeous woman. I'm like, oh my God, you're beautiful. You know, and she's like, oh God, I can't wait to see what you're gonna do. And I'm like, girl, you're gorgeous. But it's not until she looks in the mirror and she says, oh my God, I never thought I could look like this, or I'm so beautiful in that. I'm like, you didn't see that before I started?
Oh my God.
So that lets me know that there's still work to do, and I'm going to continue going until I feel like I'm done, until I feel like God's done with me. So that encourages it artistically. That encourages and inspires me to keep going. Now, as far as my motivation as a businesswoman and as an entrepreneur, I would say my children. Yeah, I want them. My goal. I have 4 children, and I want them years from now to be able to say, I saw wherever my mom is, wherever I am 10 years from now, 10, 20 years from now, they can say, everyone else sees her where she is right now, but I saw the early mornings when she would get us up, you know, get our breakfast and everything, and then she's off to a client. And I saw the journey, I saw the growth, I saw those things. And so since I know that she could do it, she juggled 15 balls at one time and made it look like it was cake, you know, like easy, then I can do it. Because they'll encounter, my kids are going to experience and encounter things that are going to be a struggle for them. They're going to have experiences and even opportunities where they feel like, this is a great opportunity, but I do not feel like getting up out of bed. But they have to know that, like, if I did it with 4 kids, you know, and I mean, of course, my husband was a major help, like, we're a partnership, but if I did it with 4 kids, then by all means, you can get up out of bed and get it done.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's what motivates me as a businesswoman. Like, I want my kids to look back and know, if my mom did it, then I can do it too. Whether it's starting a business, whether it's completing college, like, no matter what it is, if my mom did it, I can do it too. And it won't always be easy, but it's not impossible.
You know, that's a very good point you talked about as far as giving our kids the opportunity to see the journey.
Yeah. I feel like it's so important. Like, I don't think that it's effective not effective, but for me, I would much rather that my children see the journey. I want you to see the late nights, the early mornings. I want you to see when I'm sitting there with my vision board and just trying to see, like, what's my next step, this next year, this next chapter, what's the next. I want you to see that. Because I feel like those moments instill in them the tools that they'll need for future experiences.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like if they feel like she woke up one morning and she became successful, they'll think or I feel like they will think that that's how life is, and that's not how life is. There's work to be done. It's a journey, and so I want you to see mine so that you have a roadmap for yours. At least a starting point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow, I like that. Really something to think about for everyone. Yeah. And you're saying not just as far as being, a businesswoman.
Yeah, but just in life. Yeah. Like, it doesn't, there's very few things in life that come easy. Very few. So, yeah. I don't want you to ever feel like you start here and tomorrow you'll be an overnight success. So overnight you'll attain what it is that you want. No, there's work to be done. And they have the tools. Like, from the day they were born, from the day that from the moment I carried them, they have the tools. God put it in them. But oftentimes you got to put in the work. And so I want them to know that. Like, you have it, but you got to pull it out. It's going to take some work.
It takes some work.
It takes some work to pull it out. So I want them to like, this gift that I have, I didn't tap into it until several years ago. But God knew what the plan was, and He put it in me years ago. Long before. He knew what was going to happen, before I was born. But it took time and work, and it took that experience of losing myself in order for me to tap into what it is that He wanted me to find. So, yeah.
So what would you say to that person out there, maybe particularly woman, that is where you were, where you felt lost? Who am I? What do I even really like to do? What are my passions? Do I have any talent or gift? What would you say to that person trying to find herself again?
I would say I'm thinking my younger self some time ago.
What would you tell your younger self?
I would tell my younger self to don't give up. And a lot of times, and I say don't give up because a lot of times you're in a place where you don't even know what you're giving up on. You're like, I don't have anything to give up on, but I knew, and I can only speak from my own experiences back then, and I remember having this conversation very distinctly with one of my very good girlfriends. I remember talking to her and telling her, I feel something, like there's something working in me, and I don't know what it is. Like, God wants me to do something. It's kind of like when a pot of water starts boiling, it has that little, like before it gets to a rolling boil, there's like that little simmer, and you're like, there's something, but like, I don't know what He wants from me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but there's something, and I can't stop moving until I get to it. Like, you're just anxious, and and I remember telling her, and she's like, you need to just pray that God reveals it to you, and don't give up believing that He will reveal it to you. When He reveals it, be ready. So don't give up. Don't stop preparing. And sometimes you don't even know what you're preparing for. You're just like, I guess I should start making myself look decent. I guess I should, because you're not sure. But you know that there's something that He wants for you. You know that there's something that He intends for you to do with your life. Don't stop praying about it. Don't stop believing that there is something that He has planned for you. And be prepared. When that time comes, like, be prepared. Be ready to say yes. You may not know what your preparation is, but just having in your heart and knowing I'm ready to say yes is enough. Once He knows that you're ready to say yes, I believe that He will then reveal that to you. But you have to be ready. And for a while I wasn't ready for all those instances where people ask me and I say nope. I feel like those were times when God was saying, are you ready yet? Somebody say, hey, you do makeup? Nope. He's like, oh, okay, she's not ready yet. She's not ready. I know what I want for her, but she's not ready. And so that one time, now that I think about it, I never even tied it all together, but yes, that one time that I said yes. Yeah, I do other people's makeup. Had never touched another person's face in my life.
Had never touched another person's face.
But I'm like, yeah, I do makeup. And from that time, things, I mean, literally overnight, one client after another person called me, hey, so-and-so told me about you. Hey, I didn't have prices. I didn't know what to charge people. I literally, and I don't even know if you remember this, I remember when I started, I would show up to my client's house. I didn't have a makeup kit. I didn't have anything official. I literally had a cooler, like an igloo cooler. And I did not have a kit. I had an igloo cooler. And I would use the snap-on, like Tupperware type things, the snap-on things, and I would sort out all the stuff that I had bought from like CVS. I would sort it all out into sections, like, oh, these are brushes, these are eyeshadows, and put them in those snap-on containers, and then put the containers down in the lid. And I would show up with the igloo cooler. And I know people probably looked at me like I was crazy back then, but I would pull all of these containers out.
I didn't know the difference.
So embarrassing. Oh my gosh, Nadia.
Really?
And I would pull all these containers out of that cooler. But you have to start. You just have to be prepared to say yes. Lord, if this is where you want me to start, okay. And that's what I did. I literally snapped a cooler full of Tupperware containers into my car, and I was like, here we go. And one client rolled into the next, and literally never done a marketing campaign that like was to pull in, no. Like to build my clientele off of word of mouth.
Wow.
Because I said yes one time. So you have to just be ready to just say, yeah, I'll do it. I'm not prepared. I don't feel like I'm qualified. I don't even really have a clue what I'm doing. You've asked me and I'm going to show up, but I don't even know what I'm doing. But I'm going to do it because I believe that he's going to direct the words that I say, the way that I move my hands, everything that he's going to direct me. I'm just going to do it. And hope I don't make a complete fool of myself.
From experience with you, you sure did.
Yeah, and that's
what faith is, isn't it?
It's complete faith, and so that's what happened. I felt that for a while after having my youngest son. Like I at the time didn't know that boiling inside of me was tied into the fact that I had lost myself and being a mom. Didn't even tie the two together. I literally was just like, girl, I have this constant feeling of I need to be doing something, like constantly. Like this is something I need to be doing right now. Like I just want to get up off the couch and yeah, like I just need to be doing something, but I don't know what the something is. So like, do I just stand up? I don't know. You know something? It's just, and I told her, I was like, and it's bugging me. Yeah, and you just say, and she told me, she's like, you have to pray, because she had no clue how to give me advice. Like she's like, I don't even know what you're talking about, but all I can tell you to do is pray and believe that there is something there. You're not crazy. Believe that he has something for you, and be ready to say yes when he tells you.
Be ready to say yes.
Yeah, be ready. And I was like, okay, I guess we'll see. And sure enough, when the time came, I was like, okay, I'll say yes. And I hope this lady, honestly at the time I was like, I hope this lady doesn't call me to do her makeup, because I was like, I said yes, but I hope she doesn't call me, because I don't know how to do other people's faces. I barely know how to do my own.
Wow.
Yeah, and she called, and the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
The rest is, and here you are.
Yeah. With a successful, thriving business, with booming clientele, like, it's amazing. I'm blessed. But people ask me I feel like every time I take on a new client and I'm doing their face, and they say, oh, how long have you been doing makeup? What got you started? That's always the question. What got you started in makeup? I'm like, oh, do you really want to know the story? Do you really want to know? Yeah, but I don't have some major story of being discovered by somebody, or I'm just a mom who needed to find Nadia again. Yeah.
Oh, Nadia, that is so deep.
Yeah. Is it? I guess.
It is. Thank you for saying that. It is, and I think not just deep, but very relatable.
Yeah.
Very relatable. As you're speaking, I'm hearing myself in what you're saying.
Well,
yes,
I'm happy to hear that.
That's been my journey too, and this is part of me saying yes.
Well,
this is it.
Good.
Yeah, I really,
one step at a time.
One step at a time. Mm-hmm. Thank you. That is. We have to end here, because I guess that has to simmer a little bit. Wow, thank you so much.
Of course.
I have enjoyed this.
So have I.
I've enjoyed this. This was fun.
I've talked your head off with all of our stuff. Yeah.
No, I wanted to get a book and start like, can I just take some notes, you know?
Yeah, there's quite a story there. Yeah.
And everyone has a
And I'm gonna
story.
say everybody has a story. Everyone. So what you see, you see someone who's successful and all these social media followers and all this kind of stuff. Like, there's a story behind that. Yeah.
So tell everyone, how do we reach you?
Oh, let's see. Okay, well, you can reach me online at www.nadiascherie.com. That's NadiaCherie.com, or on Facebook at Beauty by Nadia Cherie, or on Instagram at Nadia Cherie _.
All right,
Yeah.
there you have it. Nadia Cherie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. This was good.